Everybody, we are back. It is Tiptoe Lodge, Favorite Podcast, Favorite Channel, Favorite Everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at @DMarkJohnNFL for me, at MHolder95 for Matt, and of course, PandaSubs.com. Discount code TDL for 25% off. All right, so we are back doing another camp battle. We're doing kind of a backup camp battle this time. Though we're gonna,
two guys that, again, linebacker being so wide open. I feel like you could convince me that either of these two guys could start at one point this season.
Yeah, they injuries happen or something. That something can happen, right? So we're doing Cody Lindenberg versus Tommy Eichenberg. The Battle of the Bergs is the Berg battle. That is a very linebacker name, even though Eichenberg's brother's a guard, but the Berg is a very linebacker name in my opinion. So Cody Lindenberg versus Tommy Eichenberg. So we'll be going over those two guys in depth, and then of course, that's basically it for the show today. But first things first, Jack Besh is one of the 30 second round picks not signed. I thought that when I saw that, I was like, that's crazy. That's like the whole round, right? Basically.
I think if I remember correctly, if it's not the top 2 second round picks, it's like the first and the third second round pick or something like that. So it is weird that like we've literally across the league, like it's something that's like a league wide that like is an issue that's going around where like those first 2 guys that signed got like fully guaranteed contracts, which is kind of rare for a second round pick. And now everyone else is just in a holding pattern, seeing who's going to flinch first to see who's going to take the first non-guaranteed contract, I guess, in the first and of the second rounders, or how much guaranteed money they're going to get. But it is, I don't think I've ever seen that where it's like an entire round, like you said, basically it is holding out. Like it's not like it's an issue that's just to the Raiders. It's not like what's going on in Cincinnati where Shamar Turner is literally the only first round pick who hasn't signed.
Yeah,
there's 30 teams in the league that are going to have a holdout. That's sort. So it's a weird situation, but yeah, obviously it impacts Betch's ability to get on the field this season. And I feel like for a guy that, from what we heard in minicamp and in OTAs, like was working with primarily the second team, not exactly the start that you were hoping for from that guy if he's going to be sidelined for however long this holdout ends up being.
Yeah, especially since he's the first second round pick, right? You're expecting him to be the type of player that plays early on, right? Or maybe he's the only second round pick, but but you want him to be the type of guy that plays early on, right? I mean, the first, second round picks, that's what you want. I mean, third round, fourth round is other guys that you look at to kind of develop, right? First and second round, you're expecting them to really be in there right away. And him being on second team, and then Dante Thornton kind of already getting a little more buzz than him. That's super interesting to me. And maybe he'll get it done by the time we post this. Maybe it'll already be done, but
yeah, exactly.
Right? But Trey Harris, he's not, his deal is not even close. Tyler Shook isn't signed either. Like none of these guys are signed, and it's all because of Jaden Higgins, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's crazy. The Saints, all the quarterback drama they have, they still don't have the one guy who's expected to be their starter to be in camp. Yeah, I mean the Chargers were the first team officially to have a holdout, if I'm not mistaken. So it's it is a weird situation. I think like you talked about it too. Like not only were we expecting Jack Betch to be a starter because he's or at least a year one contributor because he was a second round pick, but he's also kind of lauded as like a guy that's pro ready. But I mean, any rookie's going to need to get reps, and missing time in camp is going to put him back. There's no way to get certain around it. So a weird spot, and hopefully they get that resolved soon. I mean, part of me kind of hopes he is the first one to flinch, just because that means he can get into camp and get to work as soon as he can.
Yeah. So let's get into Tommy Eichenberg and Cody Lindenberg. So we watch both linebackers. What do you think of Tommy Eichenberg?
Yeah, I mean, I like Tommy Eichenberg a lot coming out of Ohio State. I talked about him. I think he can be a decent run defender in the NFL. Last season, obviously, didn't go as expected. I was kind of remembering, I was going through the film. But I think he maybe played in one preseason game, if I'm not mistaken, or none. Like I remember he got injured early on in training camp, and I think missed the majority of camp, and that obviously ended up impacting his development. Didn't get to see the field much. The one start he had last year was against the Broncos. I think Divine Diablo was out that game. A good amount of playing time against the Bengals. I want to say Spillane maybe got nicked up in that one. And he played like the majority of the second half. Just wasn't great tape from him from his rookie season. But what I will say, there was a lot more positives I took away from it than I was kind of expecting to. And a lot of negatives, especially more so against the run, I should say. A lot of his negative plays against the run, like he's like right there. It's just like one little thing that's kind of screwing him up, that's tripping him up, whether it's like getting off a block or whatnot, or just how he fits on a block and stuff like that and missing a tackle. So I think there was a lot more encouraging than I thought I was going to see from this past season, where again, like he's very close to making a lot of plays. He's just got to kind of like get over that last little hitch and be able to finish. But that was one of the biggest things. So I definitely think if he can have a full training camp, having the full off season he did, and not having to do all the combine stuff, he could definitely take a big step forward. It's just a matter of, is he athletic enough and can he move well enough to be relied on in coverage? Because that was part of his issue. And as we'll see, like he's just never going to. I don't think he'll ever be that guy, but he can at least be a good 2-down defender for you and make some plays against the run. But again, still has growth from last season too. So.
Yeah. So I checked out Cody Lindenberg, which is kind of like my first time kind of really deep diving into his film. And, I think that he does play the run really well. I thought he does play the run well, but it's mostly, to me, when he's kept clean. I think when he engages with like bigger guards and stuff like that, he does have a little bit of struggle to getting off blocks. But I think when he's kept clean and he's able to kind of navigate and decide he runs everything on defense, I think there's still a lot of elements of him where he can just get a little bit stronger. I think he's just got to get a little bit stronger, or just sometimes just force yourself to engage with certain guards and stuff like that. I mean, Matt, you're kind of a little bit more the linebacker expert, so I'm gonna kind of defer to you on some of these clips and see what you think. But it's just something I noticed. Like against Penn State, he did a better job of it, but against like USC, man, they were just tearing him up. They were just kind of moving him back a lot. And then against Rutgers, he was great. So, but he's kind of kept clean in that game. So, yeah. And then I thought in coverage, I thought he was a little bit better than, what he gets credit for. But, there were some instances where like he would go too much in a certain zone area. But I thought overall, though, he did a good job of not like just playing grass. He would follow a guy and then come back and make a tackle. So there's a lot of good things he did in zone, in my opinion. So I think there is a chance that, he could get on the field just because how much of a captain he is. But yeah, I thought there was a little bit of instances of him not being able to get off blocks and stuff like that. But, like I said, you watched him way more than me. So what were your thoughts?
So it's kind of interesting that your takeaway on the block side. I actually thought he was like decently strong against the point of attack, but I can see like where you're coming from with a little bit of consistency issues. Like, he had some reps in Penn State where he came up and just like demolished an offensive lineman. When he's coming downhill and he can kind of get behind his pads, like I think he has a little bit more success versus maybe not being like a true stack and shed against like an outside zone, or when he has to when he can't kind of attack a little bit, maybe it kind of comes up. But I think you hit the nail right on the head in coverage. Like he's Robert Spillane in coverage. Like you're not going to put that guy on man coverage on a running back or a tight end. Like that's a losing proposition. But if you put him in the middle of the field and just tell him to play like the low hole or spy the quarterback, like I think he can do that pretty well. And I think that was one of the biggest things that stand out. And like you said, he's not a robot. He's a smart player. That's for damn sure. I mean, you don't even have to actually watch an actual play for him to know that he's a smart player, because he's literally always directing traffic pre-snap from Minnesota last season. So, yeah, I mean, again, I've spoke pretty highly about him. I thought he would be gone way before the 7th round. So I'm excited to see what he can do. I'm excited to see what your takeaways too, and a little bit of what you saw, and see if we see a little more common ground, because he definitely was a damn good run defender. And then, like you said, I think he's a little bit underrated in coverage. I really do think he can be a steal. I know he's not an elite athlete, which is kind of the trend at the linebacker position in the last 5 years or so. But he can be a thumper, I think, at the very least. Yeah,
it was just a USC game. They were just kind of just getting up on him, and he was just getting driven around a lot. But like Penn State and Rutgers, he played better. So it was just interesting to kind of watch that. And then, because going from the USC game to the Rutgers game, it was like, oh, okay. There it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a good, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if he was hurt or something like that. It was weird. It was weird. Yeah.
I definitely see where you're coming from, because there were a few times where I'm like, okay, like I was almost conflicted a little bit with him against the run and taking on blocks and stuff like that. But there were enough reps where I'm like, all right, there's something there at the very least.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's start off with Tommy Eichenberg, because I really didn't get a chance.
All right, I'm gonna start off with a few of his plays against the run. One thing that I think you can definitely say about Eichenberg, and said the same thing about Lindenberg, I think he's got a pretty high football IQ. Like, this is basically how he makes this play. Like, this is 3rd and 1. Broncos are obviously running a little quarterback sneak here. And while he doesn't get credit with the tackle here, Adam Butler gets it because he does a nice job swimming the guard and actually making contact. What I like about this, and actually the end zone view shows this a little bit better, is like you can see Eichenberg kind of like reads it and shoots the gap and crashes downhill. And what prevents the first down is him coming downhill, because you can see like Bo Nix, he's looking to stretch that ball out. Like, you can see a little bit right there with the ball in his hands, but he can't because Eichenberg's there. And again, it's not a huge play by any means, but 3rd and 1, like sometimes you just need a body there to make sure that ball doesn't cross the line. And that's exactly what he does. He's in a great spot, in a great position to be able to help the team and prevent that first down. Next one's going to be him more taking on a block. I definitely think there's a little bit more room for improvement. Like, you'll see it's not dominating by any means. But what I do like about him is he, again, takes on the block pretty well with his hands. Like, you can see him, I guess he gets a little bit of snap back, like winning control with the center's head or the guard's head or whatever. Kind of snapping back there. And he's able to at least control the block where he's able to get off and then go get involved in the tackle. Broncos do get a decent gain out of this. So again, definitely some room for improvement. I think, again, a little more power. You might be able to get that to like a 3-4 yard gain instead of, I think this was 5. But I like what I'm seeing as far as him taking on blocks and then kind of winning at the point of attack and in control. Next play technically is in coverage since it's a screen, but as we've come to know, screens are just long handoffs.
Yeah.
And again, just kind of shows off his football IQ. I think once he recognizes, I think it's Bitonio, I believe. Once he recognizes Bitonio starts to release out to the flat, like you can see, like he's already starting to trigger downhill. He's going to beat Bitonio to the spot. Again, like you can see his hands kind of come up there right before the point of contact. And he takes on the block to force this running back to cut up the field, which is perfect for Adam Butler to go make that tackle. Making the play without making the play. Oh, no. Oh, we got pause here. Never mind.
You good.
Crisis averted. See it here from the end zone view. Again.
Yeah.
Great job, too. Like, you see he, like, originally starts to take on the block square, and then he gets on that edge, gets on that outside edge. And with 34, what he's reading is that's telling him to cut inside, and that gives Butler a great chance to go make that tackle.
Yeah.
Another rep here. I think this one's him taking on another block. Taking on a block from a tight end here. Again, Bengals do get a decent gain out of this one, so there's some room for improvement. But this is a tough look because part of me thinks the front is messed up here because they kind of – I've never seen 4 guys on one side and one defensive end on the other with the linebacker to scrape over team. Normally, someone's over here. Or maybe you have 3 to a side, but 4 it's a little weird. And 2, we got the nose slanting weak. So we have like literally every gap +1 on the weak side, which is kind of weird. But anyway, the point I'm making here is that makes Eichenberg's job tough. Because he's now got to account for a couple of gaps on the play side. So he's got to be a little bit more cautious with this, especially with Crosby kind of slanting into the B gap here. So he can't attack as much downhill. What he does a great job of, he's got his eyes in the backfield, mirroring the running back here on this duo call, but still sees the tight end. Does a great job taking on that block, get extension, and then go make the tackle. Does lead to a big game, but when you have to play it a little bit more cautiously, with, I don't know, maybe he's telling Jenkins here to get in the B gap or get in the inside shade on the guard or something. But we have to account for that much space. Like, there's only so much you can do. You can't be as aggressive. Did want to highlight a few plays that he made in coverage too last season. It wasn't all bad. Yeah. Which wasn't the greatest. Now, I will say on this one, one thing that this will come up later I'm not a big fan of his eyes in zone. Like he doesn't really like this dig to me is open if or this drag route is open if Deshaun Watson hits it, and part of it is because he doesn't look at it. But again, focusing on what he's doing well here, this is a great open field tackle to get a coverage stop here. Like you can see him stay deep in his zone, which I like, and then just rally and tackle. I mean, they get 1 yard after the catch. Nice little tackle, open field tackle on the tight end there. This next one, another example of just being a high football IQ player. Like this is a little play action pass, or what the Broncos are hoping he's doing. He's out on the edge here. What the Broncos are hoping he's doing is he just kind of follows the running back and falls for the run fake, or gets super involved and super engaged with the tight end on that block. But he recognizes pass right away, kind of senses that something's up, and just kind of stays back, plays it a little bit more passively.
Yeah,
and that helps take away the tight end. Nix has nowhere to go, and Max Crosby ends up getting the sack. I think they gained 1 here.
Yeah, that's a good read by him. Like he understood exactly what was happening. Like not just because he could have just blocked that dude like they wanted him to, and then he releases and it's a touchdown.
Exactly. That's an easy pitch and catch for a touchdown, but he stays home, reads his keys, and takes it away. Get a good angle here from the end zone. Again, like you can see like the moment where he's got eyes in the backfield, so that kind of helps. Where he sees Nix. I guess Nix not going for the ball fake does help too. Same thing. Just stay home, stay deep, and don't give him anything easy. Next clip, just him being physical more than anything, kind of playing to his strengths. I'm not exactly sure if he's supposed to follow the tight end, or if Paul Mau's supposed to pick him up. But what I do like is he kind of takes that read away from Bo Nix. Like if you look at Nix's eyes, like his eyes, they immediately come to the backside, and he's looking to hit that tight end. Like you can see Nix is looking there, but it's not open because we have our linebackers doing a great job disrupting the timing of the route. Granted, Nix ends up throwing a touchdown because Jack Jones gets beat. But either way, I think Jones must have thought Paul Mao was supposed to play in the middle of the field and cover one. But
I guess
nice rep from Eichenberg, at least disrupt some timing. Now again, focusing on the stuff that he needs to work on. This player right here is a great example of what I was talking about in the intro, where this is a great read. He does a great job of being physical and attacking the tackle here. Like he's the hammer, not the nail.
Yeah.
But he does it with his chest and gets too involved with the tackle. You can see, like, I mean, some people claim this is holding, but guess what? You're never going to get that call.
Yeah.
And he can't get off the block. So even though he has a great job taking on this tackle, he can't escape or even get an arm free to bring down the running back. And this ends up being a gain of 5, what should have been a TFL. To me, like, I just like to see him maybe tone it down a little bit, maybe break down right about here, and then just get on that inside edge and force that running back to bounce or run into you.
Yeah, exactly.
You can see like Snowden does a great job taking on this block from the Cortland Sutton here. And if Eichenberg's inside shade and has control of that, he might be able to bounce that into Snowden.
Yeah, he's just got to use his hands more, right? I mean, that's what you feel like. Yeah.
Exactly. Which is weird because, again, we saw him do it earlier on that screen, but this rep maybe felt like he was coming in a little too hot and just didn't get it done.
That play made me feel better about my Lindenberg breakdown. I'll say that.
There you go. Same basic thing on this one. I mean, again, great read, physical. Problem is we're getting too engaged on the block with the fullback. So even though we have great contact, we can't make that tackle because we're just too engaged. Again, might be a little tug here from the fullback, but never rely on that getting called. And then the Raiders' early season tackling woes lead to a 9-yard gain.
It's almost like he's being too tough. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
He's trying to.
He's trying to be too much of a tough guy, and that might come with experience because he got away with that a little bit at Ohio State when he was bigger and stronger than everyone. Bump up to the NFL, a little bit of a different story.
Yeah,
but yeah, I agree. being too much of a tough guy almost to a certain extent. Now, this next one, I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to put it all on him. Like Butler, you're going to see him get scooped out of this gap, which is what leads to that wide-ass lane. And he's going to be, I think, responsible for this B gap. And that's why you're kind of seeing him flow hard that way, especially with split lane working outside and the outside run or the outside zone look for the offense. But what I would like to see is at this point, give us a shoulder dip, a rip move, something to defeat this block. And at the very least, we sink our hips and then just avoid getting pancaked.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think he necessarily would make that tackle because that is a wide ass lane the Broncos have created. But he might be able to if he can get low and then win with a nice little rip move. And maybe he makes that play or at least makes this a longer cutback and more difficult read with running back instead of having like a 10-yard wide.
Yeah. Or like he could come back and like make that tackle. You know what I mean? Like if he doesn't over, like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I see. Yeah. Like if he's like right here, if he could put his foot in the ground and change directions or something.
Yeah. Or just like even just kind of slow down. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's tied to the lack of movement skills where he just doesn't have that in the bag. But
yeah.
Moving on to coverage, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Some of these reps are gonna be pretty rough. Some tough angles. This is gonna be the first one. That's one thing that I think it was an issue for him at Ohio State too. Is he takes excuse me. He takes way too flat of an angle towards the flat, and especially against a guy like Chuba Hubbard, who's got pretty good speed. Like he's gonna lose to the outside every single time. And that's basically what happens here. He gets just beat outside, beat to the numbers. And then on top of it, or because of that, now he's got to go lay out for the tackle, misses, and it's an easy first down. See a similar one here against the Broncos. This time, I guess maybe not technically his man, maybe not. But either way, same kind of thing, just not a great angle. And we don't end up making that tackle. That one goes for a touchdown. So one of the big issues with him is just kind of working to the wide side of the field, just in general. Which again, I think lack of speed and athleticism is a big factor.
Huge factor.
Yeah, you can kind of see it here. Like he's just not moving like you would hope for a starting NFL linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
Which one we got here? Oh yeah, this is another one where the angles become an issue. Actually, a scramble drill here from Bo Nix, but you can see I love this is the thing that's frustrating because I love that again. He does a great job of getting deep in his zone. He's like, I'm going to keep sinking, and part of that is the reason why I think Nix doesn't try and throw the dig to Sutton here, which is kind of surprising because as we've seen before, he'd love to force it to him.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we got to be able to close in space and take a better angle to be able to make that tackle.
That reminds me of watching him from college. Like, I feel like that happened in college a couple times. This exact play where he hit a tackle or like a quarterback after playing good zone coverage.
Yeah,
missed.
He missed. Yeah.
Well,
this is rough. Can't get juked out by the white guy.
Yeah.
As a white guy. Oh yeah.
Woo. Yeah.
Again.
Woo.
It's a little bit of the lack of athleticism, I think, that pops up sometimes. So hopefully something he worked on in the offseason. Now, this more than anything is just a coverage bust. Like what I want everyone to do is watch how Spillane plays this because they basically have the same the same responsibilities here. Against a back that's lined up directly behind the quarterback, like what the call here is basically is one of these backers is going to pick up the running back in man coverage. The other one is going to blitz. It's called a green dog blitz. Mm-hmm. And the way they determine that is where the running back goes. So once the running back comes this way, that's Eichenberg's man. Mm-hmm. And now Spillane can blitz. Now Spillane kind of slow plays it a little bit to make sure he reads it and make sure that running back stays on that side. But what Eichenberg does, he just kind of crashes downhill. And I think part of what hurts him is he sees the back go chip Max Crosby, which, as we know, is going to happen a lot. Mm-hmm. And then he just kind of commits to the blitz. and gets lucky because that is wide ass open.
Mm-hmm.
And that might be a touchdown. But Nix misses him because we get some pressure here from the other side. Is that Snowden on the other side? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Got bailed out a little bit on that one.
Yeah.
I believe this next one's a coverage bust too. Oh yeah, this one more than anything, you just bit on the play action fake and came too far downhill. Again, see the lack of athletic skills to be able to recover. Like part of it, I think he might have brain freeze a little bit here when he realized it wasn't a run, and then on top of it, like no chance to turn and chase that guy.
Yeah, it's like he's playing too excited. Like he wants to make a play. Like he's trying to prove himself.
That was his first start, the Broncos game, so that could have definitely been a big factor, especially when you're a guy that doesn't play much.
Yeah.
All right, this is what I was hinting at a little bit earlier. Now, again, the bigger issue here is that Darnay Holmes gets beat on the slot. Easy. So I'm not a situation where I'm putting this 100% on Eichenberg. The problem is his eyes. He locks onto the quarterback so much that he never sees what's coming behind him. And like, my thing is, if you're going to do that, you better be a pretty damn good athlete to be able to close those windows and make a play on that ball. Or if you're going to play that way where you're going to read the quarterback, when the quarterback is starting to look one way, take a look at what he's looking at. Like just turn your head, it doesn't have to be long, just like a half second to see if you see a black jersey coming your way. And if he does that, and then maybe he sees the Jaceki running on the little in or the dig route or the drag route here, and he can move to help out his teammate and widen that window. Instead, he stays locked on Burrow the entire time, and the ball whizzes right past his ear.
Yeah.
So there's kind of two ways to play it. I like just saying post snap, like let's take I like teaching linebackers post snap, like take a peek at your side and see what's coming, and then get your eyes back on the quarterback. But if you are going to lock on the quarterback, at some point we need to see what he sees and go make a play on it.
Yeah, because you could probably tell Burrow eye manipulation right there too.
Exactly.
Yeah, because
exactly. That's part of the reason why I'm not a big fan on reading the quarterback's eyes when you get to this level, is because of the guys like Burrow. They'll play with you. They'll straight up just snap their head around and throw it right past you anyway. So that's why I kind of like the guys who, again, post snap, like let's take a look, see what's coming, and then get our eyes on the quarterback. But if you're going to play it that way, there's another scheme to do it, and he just kind of doesn't have great eyes. But ultimately, that's what Eichenberg is. Again, think he can be a decent run defender if he just becomes more consistent with taking on those blocks. I hope that kind of came through, and even on my negative clips where it's like he's right there, he's just not. There's just one little thing that he's not doing to be able to make the play and make it perfect. And then in coverage, I mean, we just got to work on those eyes, and I think he can be a little bit better. Again, I don't think he's ever going to be a huge guy in coverage because he's not very athletic. But I think if you can get his eyes down, he's smart enough and has a high enough football IQ that I think you can trust him to be able to play that middle hook that Robert Spillane did for the last 3 years or 2 years.
Yeah, and it's just athleticism sometimes too. It's just this league is an athlete league.
Yep.
And sometimes if you're not the most athletic guy, you got to be extremely smart. You have to be extremely with your technique. You have to be perfect, right? Basically half the time. If you're not the athlete that is on the field with with the other guys surrounding you, because these are the best athletes that exist to play football. I mean, that's is really what it is. And that's who you're playing with. You're not just playing with these good football players or guys who could play football. You're playing with the best athletes that ever play football, right? I mean, at this point. So, I mean, it's a mixture, you know what I mean? Like Aaron Donald, I mean, he has other technique, but also he runs a 4.5 at 295 pounds. You know what I mean? So it's that type of thing with it. Like if you just at the athlete, man, you have to be like Robert Spillane, where you're kind of just checking it out first before I blitz, or you know what I mean? Just doing like little small things to make sure that you don't get exposed as a bad athlete. And and that takes time.
Yeah. Like you said, it just reduces the margin for error, right? Like you can't be a step in the wrong spot when you're a bad athlete. You can't have a half a second too late on your instincts. On that run fake, you can't bite down that extra yard against play action and stuff like that. But again, I definitely think he can do it. It's just a matter of him putting the work in and being able to grow. Again, I really do think with a full healthy off season, like he can do a lot better, and hopefully he can stay healthy in training camp. The only thing that worries me is his playing style might lead to the injuries, because again, as we saw, he has no problem going down and putting his head in an offensive lineman's chest. And if you remember the story from him in his senior year at Ohio State, or junior year at Ohio State, played through like 2 broken hands. So he is that eating glass, tough as nails type of dude.
Yeah.
But part of me wonders, maybe we tone that back a little bit and just work on being smarter and stuff like that.
Yeah. All right, let's do some Lindenberg. All right, so start with Cody Lindenberg. And, I just want to kind of start off with how intelligent he is, right? So you get the audible here, or not the emotion here, right? And he starts making calls to the rest of his team, right? He's letting all the linebackers know and let everybody know. You see the lineman looking at him, right? Gets everybody right in line. And what I love about this one is the perfect scrape here. So, right, he's scraping over the top here. He does a good job there making that tackle right there on Drew Aller. So it's like a perfect scrape. I really like this right here. And to me, like it's all comes together when he's setting the whole defense up to get ready for this look, right? Listen, we're all getting ready for this zone read look, and he's ready for it. You can already see him already coming around this way. He's already meeting Drew Aller at the spot, and then makes a good tackle there. So I really like this play a lot. All right, here's another one here. Him just navigating. So I really like this one too, because you see 63 is about to come up to him, right? I mean, what does it look like? Looks like we're getting some inside zone here.
Yeah,
right?
Looks like it.
All right, and then number 3 is coming full speed here. Yeah, a little zone read, right? And and the quarterback pulls it, but what I like is how he is reading this, right? So he could have stayed here, in my opinion, and allow 63 to get up to him. But what he does is he stays patient, and then he hangs on to 63 just in case he doesn't keep the ball, right? And has keeps gives him a little long arm there. Uses good placement there, and then he just kind of sheds it right there. So it was like he's kind of playing both. So he's playing for 21 to keep the ball there, right? Staying patient, and then 16 keeps it, and then he just disengages there, and he just makes that tackle right there. So I really like this play. That's what I'm saying. Like he's a that was his highest greatest game against Rutgers, like 87. So he was great in that game against the run. Yeah. So here's another one. I mean, this one, he's not going to take on this guard, right? But he does a good job of going right around him like that, right? Reading it real quick there, right around him, boom, then come and make it that tackle right there. Make it a good tackle. So, I mean, most of the time you want him to see him engage this guard, but I think this is like later on in the game. And I think he was just tired of it. He's like, I'm just going to go around these guys.
Yeah.
This is an adjustment, and he goes right around him. Makes a good tackle there. Because that's funny. That was later on in the game. So, all right. So here's another one against Rutgers, which like I said, if you want to watch a game to convince yourself about he could be a starter, this is the game. I thought he played excellent in this one. It's like I said, it's a patience here, like nothing. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of just waiting, patient, and staying over the top. I think D-line does a lot better job, and there's a little bit of holding there, of course. But what I like is he's just not rushing at the line, right? And try to get contact. He's staying patient, allowing the running back to make a decision, and then he's right there for the running back. So since he stayed over the top, boom, get there, make a nice little tackle there, make a play.
Yeah, recognizes when to shoot, because he easily could have shot that. Was that the B gap there? But didn't, like you said, and then stayed, kept himself clean to be able to make a play on the backside.
Yeah. Another one gets Rutgers here. In this one, he stays, right? You can see right here, he kind of stays right there, that B gap right there. Boom. Let's say A gap. Right, but this is what I'm talking about. Like, if he is able to stay clean, like he is basically. I think he's like awesome. You know what I mean? So like, if you got to get a little bit better with coming off guards and players like that, like I said, just getting a little bit stronger overall. I know he's still 240 pounds, but you just see how patient he is. It's just a natural linebacker in my opinion. And then boom, make a nice little tackle there. It's just consistent. Like this, right? I mean, it's the patience to me. Like, I'm just not gonna rush the line. Like, I'm gonna wait, watch the running back, see what he's gonna do. There's another one. Sure. This is one of my favorite ones because this is they're running some outside zone here, right? So you get a little wide zone, and this is what I'm talking about, the patience, right? And he's playing the cutback here, so he doesn't overcommit. It's not like I'm gonna just watch these linemen. I'm gonna keep going this way. He stays there for the cutback. And he can kind of see that opening. So it's like he's reading the running back more than he is the offensive line, right? And you can just you had that good feeling right there. He's able to just take that cutback away, because that's if you're watching how the offensive line are moving the defensive line. I mean, the cutback is supposed to be there. I mean, that's a great block by this guard right here. Gets a lot of movement there. You're getting some movement from the center. That cutback should be there, right? If Lindenberg commits and goes with the flow of the offensive line, but he does a good job of reading it, seeing the outside zone, and he's right there in that cutback. You tell Tony he's probably surprised that he's there.
Yeah,
and he makes that tackle. So this is one of my favorite plays because this just shows how smart he is, right, against the run. Like, because it said the patience, not rushing yourself, understanding what kind of run it is too. I mean that's understanding the scheme and what's going to be open there. Kind of recognizing your guys are getting their ass kicked. There's a lot of that, in my opinion. All right, so here we go. So see, I do like when he gets physical here too. It's more, we'll talk about more. It's more when he lets somebody get up to him. But when he's coming downhill, and like, I think he could be a blitzer too. There's some good film of him blitzing that I really liked, and him like playing off the edge. That you could kind of mix it around where he could become that. Basically playing like a Charles Snowden role a little bit, right? Which I really liked. That I saw. It was just a couple clips that I saw. Okay, like you could probably do that. Like he just because he felt like it wasn't crazy for him to rush off the edge. But I really like this one too because he gets physical, right? And he's still able to stay over the top. Boom, right? Okay, I see where the running back's actually going. I stay over the top. I get in that tackle.
Yeah, nice play. Nice read too.
Yeah, just get physical, boom, give it to that guard right there, and then in that play right there. I mean, I guess he didn't fully make that tackle, but it's still a good read, and him getting in that play there. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, so this is kind of like the basis of the Tommy Eichenberg play.
Yeah.
Right, where like he kind of just engages, and then he's left here trying not to trying to do a trip here.
I appreciate the effort. Just like, what, I might be blocked, but I'm gonna trip this guy.
Yeah, right. So I like, and you're right, and it's not that he's not he didn't read it right. I mean, I just feel like you just don't have to just get super like try to take out this tight end. Like it was like, okay, I got a tight end blocking me. I'm gonna try to take this guy out. Just be patient like he was on the previous reps, and I think he could make that tackle. Like where at the point when I was watching this, I was like, if he doesn't even engage with him, like he just stays patient a little bit, he doesn't even have to do this because this guy's the running back. And then if anything, right, he makes the running back go this way where 97 is, right, and kind of clogs up that gap a little bit. But he kind of left that opening by just wanting to take on the tight end and knock him over and allow a big run.
He sees red and just attacks.
Yeah, I'm taking that tight end out. Like they're gonna put a tight end on me. I'm gonna take him out basically. All right, so here's another rep here. Now this one, I'm not gonna put this all the way on him, but like it's more about like the just trying to. The same thing we saw with Eichenberg too is just like I'm gonna try to give this guard everything. Like I'm gonna put his shoulder in instead of kind of staying patient here, right? And more reading it, right? Getting some hand placement in there, getting a little bit of extension, but he kind of just takes him out. And then I guess he's trusting 9 to make this play, I guess. And of course 9 doesn't. But like I said, if he's just not just trying to, bulldoze a guard that's, just basically has probably 100 pounds on him. I could tell this dude probably has 100 pounds on him. He's trying to bulldoze him, right? He could have stayed patient, right? And then he could have helped out with his tackle, in my opinion. Like him getting pushed out of the way allowed for this missed tackle to happen.
Yeah. So yeah, I see what you're saying. I honestly don't hate this rep because it's a tough assignment when you have to take on a puller as a linebacker, and it looks like he might be blitzing where he's automatically coming downhill. Mm-hmm. Maybe he's just shooting the gap, but yeah, what I do like is he sinks his hips and holds up a little bit. But yeah, for sure that's too wide of a gap, and he ends up getting. I mean, that might be a stalemate, but
yeah,
I think he loses that one.
Yeah, see, because that's what I said. To me, it wasn't really a bad rep. It was just, 9 should be that damn tackle. So if my 9 made that tackle, I wouldn't, even mention it probably. So I mean, he still fumbled and they got the ball. So
yeah.
All right. So here on this one, I mean, this one's a little tougher because I mean, these guards were just bullying him over, right? And of course, the rest of his team's not really helping him here.
Yeah.
And I think when he comes downhill, though, what you kind of could tell is that he forces 4 to go outside a little bit, right? Because where he's coming downhill, and you're coming right into that B gap right there, boom, and then kind of forcing him outside. But this one was more about athleticism than me, in my opinion, because like I feel like if he's a little bit of a better athlete, he can get over
the top.
Scrape over the top, right. And if he's a little bit of a better athlete, but I think he's a little bit of kind of awkward with his movement a little bit, and kind of just ends up getting pancaked. There. I mean, they all got pancaked, but
safety getting cracked doesn't help either.
USC was just kicking their ass, man. It was wild to watch. Everybody's on the ground, pure ass kicking. So this is another one too. Where I think he's expecting help inside. I think he's expecting he's expecting 9 to be there, right? So this isn't as much of a crazy rep, and like 9's nowhere to be found. And Lindenberg turns around and sees the guy run for a touchdown. But you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I'm not too mad at this rep right here, because 9 should be there. I don't know what 9's doing. Like
9 freezes instead of scraping the top with the pullers.
Yeah, right there, right. So to me, he does his job here, and he's just expected to help a little bit from inside because you take on the guard. I mean, that's the best as a linebacker in my opinion. That's a pretty good rep against guard. You can see he's getting full extension still, but he just has no help inside. So when he forces him inside here, right, just number 4 is like just untouched. You know what I mean? So, all right. So let's watch him in coverage a little bit here. So I really like this rep right here. So this ends up being some cover 3, right? And I really like how maybe he's just worried about Tyler Warren here a lot, but I really like how he kind of rides Tyler Warren up the field first here, rides him up the field, and then kind of just turns around, comes down. Of course, doesn't make a full tackle on here, but I just like this is a zone rep where you're just not playing grass because he could just play this flat here. I know he has some help, but you can see he knows that's Tyler Warren. I'm gonna make sure that I have him covered before anything else and make them throw to the flat. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
So I really like.
Don't let the best player on offense beat you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, here's another one where he kind of does the same thing here. So, I mean, because this ends up being cover 3 again. And like I said, I mean, since he's the curl flat guy on this look, he's supposed to just come out here, right? But you'll watch him, see the running back, it's coming out of the backfield. And this is what I'm talking about him being intelligent, because you kind of could see him making some motions here. As soon as there's motion across the field, he changes up the play. right there. You understand, and he sees this guy. He comes all the way down, and then there's a little bit of check down. He comes up, makes a tackle.
Yeah, nice play.
Right. So, because to me, I mean, he could have just can't just curl flat here, right? If he does that, then where's this guy going for a touchdown, right? But he does a good job of recognizing that and like not playing grass. I'm gonna get upfield here, make a play. Yeah, so
good zone eyes.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. In coverage, like I was not mad at him. I thought, just thinking like, kind of what he was getting labeled at, that I thought it would be worse than this. So here's another good example, pushing somebody off. You're in cover 3 again here, I believe. Yeah, you're in cover 3. Sending them coming downhill, make a good tackle.
It's a great play. I like it too because he gets deep to help take away that dig.
Mm-hmm.
And then just rallies right away. Like quarterback immediately comes off the dig when he sees him dropping.
Yeah, it's like, to me, this a lot of this is film work. I feel like he does like a lot of film work because like just like the last play, he sees that running back come out the field. He goes, I know, okay, that guy's going on a wheel. I need to stay with that. Same thing here. Is okay. I got basically like a kind of a levels concept here, or just double digs. He's like, okay, that guy's doing a dig. Then that means I got to dig behind me. So I got to get some depth there to kind of block that off, and then come upfield right there. Just forcing check downs, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
All right, and then we got a one-on-one rep against Tyler Warren. I kind of like this rep, but this is a great throw. Okay, so he this is first round tight end, guys, right? And he's with him. I mean, he's right there. He's right there. I mean, if this is anywhere missed throw, he makes a play. Like now, the ball skills definitely need to be, of course, developed a little bit. But he's a linebacker. He doesn't probably have the best ball skills. He's not a DB because this throw was just like throw right behind him. It was like this is the best throw I've ever seen Drew Lawler make. I was like in shock. I watched it a couple times. He threw that in there.
Yeah,
like this is why Drew Lawler. Go ahead, man. What do you say?
I was gonna say that's great coverage. Yeah, but just a better throw.
Yeah. So when I watch this play, I'm like, this guy's not bad in coverage. Like, I don't think this. I was watching this film, like he's pretty complete. You know what I mean? Like he's not really. You know what I mean? It was just interesting that he fell all the 7th round.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think he's a better athlete than a lot of people give him credit for.
Yeah.
Not a great athlete, but better than not terrible. That's what I'll say.
So here we get him a little bit of man coverage here, right? So he got the tight end coming out. I thought he did a good job right here, getting his hands on him, staying with him right there.
Yeah.
And I mean, he does have a little bit of goofy moving skills here sometimes, but I mean, I just tripping over the ref. But like I said, this is good coverage in my opinion. Like, I mean, I know this guy's probably going to be working in New Jersey somewhere, but still not bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
the only really bad rep I saw from him in coverage was this one. And it's not the worst rep in the world. It's just more like he's so worried about Tyler Warren, right? Which it makes sense. But when you're playing, it's weird cover 3. I mean, this basically is cover 3, but they just got a lot of safeties up here, right?
Yeah.
When you're playing curl flat, you're still got to play the curl too. And he kind of just ran right to the flat. And then Drew Lawler threw it right behind him right there. And I'd rather, just based on where like the hashes and where they are on the field, I'd rather get that up because he's going right out of bounds. And then like Tyler Warren's going to tiptoe and make a pirouette up. If I say that right. and then like get upfield, you know what I mean? So, right? I mean, because his momentum is going to take him out of bounds. And you're still right there for the tackle too if you kind of hug this curl a little bit, right? And I mean, this linebacker probably should hug it a little bit more too, but I think that's more of a lineman. So I mean, I think he should have recognized this, but he just went straight to Warren. And maybe he's expecting Warren to get this football, but when he does that, the guy throws right behind him, gets the first down.
Yeah, that could also be a game plan thing where like, hey, our goal is if anyone else beats us other than 44, we're okay with it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then just sometimes just the tackling with him kind of he could just miss like tackles he just shouldn't miss, right? Like this one, and sometimes it's athleticism to me because like Like it's just to change the direction here.
Yeah.
He's just not able to change directions too quickly, right? He's got to break down quicker, right? And get in tackle position because he's just not, because by the time this guy cut back, it's already over there. He missed it.
Yeah. That back from Rutgers, he got drafted, right?
Yeah.
Is it Monongai? Or is he that? Is that the corner?
No, that's my non guy right there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a pretty good back. And then this one is a great read. He just ends up missing tackle. So what I like about the patient, right there, and he just doesn't break down here, right? And he just gets juked right there, and then missing that tackle. But I still think how he read this is great, right? I mean, this is a great read here, and even him making this contact allowed 45 to come clean it up. But overall, I like this game, to be honest. Like if how smart he is in understanding and being such a captain, that's why when Vinny told me on the radio that he had the green dot, like, watching that, like, it makes complete sense. And that's why, like, if some of these linebackers don't play as well, like, you might see this dude start creeping in there, because if he's getting it, he sees a shift, he's getting everybody in line. I mean, that's his, that's a big part of being a linebacker, and especially in the NFL. And you get the defensive line set, and you're getting all the coverages right, and you got everybody on the same page. You saw some of those plays; they were able to, give Penn State a little bit of fits because he's making changes, and then he's reading it right, and then he's playing perfectly in zone. He's not just playing curl flat. He's gonna take the running back up the field and then come and make the tackle. It's just a lot to like from that perspective. That I think he could be a pretty good player.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you see a lot of the same things I was looking at. Yeah, I mean, I feel like you probably even you might be a little higher on him in coverage than I am. So yeah. It's funny. I feel like this is a battle between two very similar players, and it's funny that their names are also very similar. Where like they're both like they're run first defenders, where like they kind of have a few small things here or there in that area of the game that they can tweak on to be really making a ton of plays. And then it's just a matter of how much you can get away with them in coverage. But I think, like you said, like with Lindenberg, I think he's a little bit further ahead of where Eichenberg is in coverage and just his eyes and whatnot. Like there's one clip I was going to point it out that like he showed like where he's like carrying the guy and he like looks to the side and like then looks back to the quarterback. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about right there. That's what he needs to be teaching Eichenberg. So I think that he probably has an advantage there. And I think too, like, Lindenberg, like I know he didn't run like a great 40. I think he was like a 4.7. But like if you look at his other like testing from the combine, like he actually did pretty well. And I think he's got like decent. I'm not going to call him good athlete, like decent sort of movement skills that you can work with. But yeah, and I think a lot of the issues you were showing against of him taking on blocks, like the clips that you were showing, like a lot of the times, like it was him taking on a puller, which is just going to be a tougher assignment, like more often than not, because that guy's got momentum, and like you said, probably about 100 pounds on him that's coming through. Those are never easy blocks for linebackers to take on. Yeah. And like I think the one that gave you some encouragement was when he used like the chicken wing, if you will, the forearm to kind of get some extension, and that's going to be what he has going to have to master it a little bit, because there's definitely some instances where like he can kind of get caught and maybe maybe not have the greatest hands and get stuck on blocks every now and again.
Yeah. I just thought it was impressive overall. So I think he's a good player, and it wouldn't shock me if he was like the starting linebacker in like 2 years. Like it just wouldn't shock me just because how smart he is, and if he learns the NFL, which when you're playing like that and you're that much like you're a leader, right, where they're giving you the green dot over Eichenberg already, then it's there's a chance that you could sneak in there and start getting some playing time early on.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, like you said, it's pretty rare for a rookie in minicamp to be rocking the green dot. I know it was with the second team, obviously, but that just speaks to his football IQ, and hopefully that means he's picking up the defense pretty quickly, because I think he's a guy that like you want him playing confidently, you want him knowing what he's doing, because that's such a big part of his game, and I think he can definitely do that. But obviously there's always going to be an adjustment with rookies picking up an NFL defense and trying that out for the first time. But it seems like he's on the right path at the very least, at least from training, at least from OTAs and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Right. Definitely check this out. You also check out our other camp battles. We're looking at all these guys. And then pretty soon here we get to our 53-man projection here. I know that's the exciting part. We'll probably go live for that, I guess. And then be on the lookout for that too as well. And then of course, do Friday Night Live again this week. So check that out, guys. So just be on the lookout for that. But yeah, so like I said, hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We're out of here. Peace.